The biggest problem about hybrids is that ever since they were introduced, they just have not been fun to drive. But Honda has a solution to this. This is the CRZ. It's supposed to take sports cars and hybrids and bring them together in a nice little package. Emphasis on little. Anyway, this is FLDetours. Although it sounds like a genius idea to take the elements of a sports car and mesh them with a hybrid, it kind of doesn't add up, and that's because there's compromises. For example, we have sports carness here, so it's kind of small. The back seats in this car, not quite existent. There's no seat belts, there's no seats, there's nothing back there. You only got room for 2. So if you want more people, you're pretty much SOL. Now normal hybrids, they typically get about 40 to 50 miles to the gallon. This car, the CRZ, gets about, well, right now we're getting 32, and before that I was getting 30, so it's not exactly an overachiever here. But even though that might not be your fancy, it might not be a hybrid in that sense, it does have something that other hybrids don't have. That, my friends, is a 6-speed manual transmission, and it's a pretty damn good one at that. That's because the clutch has a low take-up and it feels a little bit sporty, and the shifter here, well, it actually is a nice precise shifter. It's not like, you know, say a Suzuki Kizashi, which was a little bit messy. The problem is though, it doesn't have that much power. So you'll just go from 1, 2 to 3, and you'll only be doing 40, but it sounds like you're going like 100 because you keep revving this car out like crazy just to get this thing moving. And to further illustrate how slow this car is through first, second, and third gear, here we go. Start the clock. Okay, 30, 40, 50. Okay, I guess that's all right. How long do you think that was?
That was a while.
It's not a fast car, people. The bottom line is this car is not meant to be fast. It has a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder motor that has 122 horsepower and just under 130 pounds-feet of torque. Not exactly going to blow your doors off because 0 to 60 comes in just under 10 seconds. I think it's 9.9 to be precise, but who's really counting at that point anyway? You just need to break out a sundial and a prayer sheet and pretty much emerge onto the highway with just about a little bit of luck and a little bit of good driving. But there is the good old adage that it is more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. Ian, what would you say about that noise? Is it good?
It sounds pretty good.
It sounds pretty good. It's a little buzzy on the high end, but I don't mind it so much. It doesn't sound like a Hyundai or a Kia or anything like that. So yeah, the car's fun. It's just slow. And then like you have the 3 modes here. You have the Sport, Normal, and Econ mode. Basically, it just changes the way that, like, say the steering feel is, or the throttle tip in, or anything like that. So when I have it in Sport mode, when I go in on the throttle, it kind of gives you all the power right away. And then it's kind of like an asthmatic or somebody without a lung trying to run a marathon. It's just, there's just nothing there. When you put the car into Econ mode though, it feels like you pretty much put like 100 pounds of sand in the trunk of this thing. You have to really plant your foot into it to get a reaction out of this car. Although there is something in each setting that I do like, there's not one setting particularly that I like the best. It doesn't truly satisfy me. So basically what I'm saying is, I would really like to have the ability to customize and interchange and pick and choose what I want for me to really enjoy this car. Looking around the interior, it's pretty much your standard Honda-ish kind of feel. It's not really that crazy. The material, it's not that nice. I mean, listen to this door shut. Not crazy. This material here, the shiny stuff, looks like a pair of basketball shorts. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. This stuff though, it's hollow. It's like cardboard that's been, you know, upholstered. You know, the seats are good though, I will say that. So back to the handling of the car. Let's give it a little test right here. A little S-curve going through. Holding it strong. So yeah, it's really not that bad. It definitely delivers. It's definitely a lot of fun. And for a hybrid, it's pretty damn astonishing. Although I'm not going to let it slide for those MPGs. And that's because there's a lot of new cars out now, especially in the small car class, compact car class, that get pretty good gas mileage. For example, you got the Ford Fiesta. Yeah, it's down on power too, but it still gets, you know, 38, 40 miles to the gallon. And then there's the new Hyundai Elantra, 29 city, 40 on the highway, 6-speed or automatic. Probably the most comparable of the bunch though is the Golf TDI. Sure, you're definitely going to pay a few more bucks, But here's the thing, you get a back seat, get an extra couple more mpg. When I tested, I got 33 miles to the gallon. This one's getting 32 right now, 30 before. So the thing is, why would you even get this car when you can go get a diesel version? You get better power, better feel, a better interior. The only thing you get with this car, opposed to a Volkswagen Golf, is you get reliability. All right, long story short with this car, here's what it comes down to. It's a very easy car to hate on, because it kind of doesn't make sense. It's kind of impractical. It doesn't get great gas mileage. But ultimately, I kind of get why they built this car. They wanted to make a hybrid a fun car to drive. And although this car does have its problems, and it's not exactly a 10 out of 10, it still is fun at the end of the day. As you saw in the S-Curve we went through before, it does its job. It's got a 6-speed transmission. That's a damn good transmission. It's probably one of the best shifting in the field for about 20 grand. You're just not going to find something as precise as this. So it's kind of like a golf clap, really. It's kind of like, because it's cool, but it's not at the same time. And when you have 20 grand, there's so many other cars in this class that you can get and get just as much practicality. You can get a back seat, you can get the same or even better gas mileage. All in all, this car could have been something much greater. Hopefully, if the rumors are true and they do build the turbo version, that will be the great CRZ. Until then, just gonna have to hang out and be subpar.